I want to talk in this video a little bit about Linnie Mae. Linnie Mae Randall is Wesley Buell Frazier's sister, and she is quite an important person in what went on that Friday morning in terms of Wesley's story. We're going to call this Linnie Mae Part 1 because we need to talk about Linnie Mae again, but in a different way. So this is Linnie Mae Part 1. She was Wesley's sister. He was living in her house at the time of the assassination. He'd been there about 6 weeks, and as we said previously, he was sleeping on her couch, which I find unusual, a bit odd, and also considering that these two, their mother was also staying in the house, and the reason that they've given for that is that the stepfather, was in hospital with a heart attack just before the assassination took place. He had a heart attack and he was taken to the hospital, as you would be. So we have now the whole little Frazier family living at Linnie Mae's house. She had a couple of children herself, and she gives her own testimony about what she saw and what she did in regards to this package. So let's just explore what she actually said. She was telling us that on the morning that Lee apparently came through and stood outside her kitchen window and put the package in Wesley's car on the back seat, that she watched him do that through the window. Now, we've already established that the story about the package and the ride-in and the conversation about the curtain rods is all fabricated. So that means that Linnie was also telling us lies. Now, this is really, really important because this comes to light, Linnie's involvement, later on in the day. So as Lee is arrested and the police invariably turn up at Irving at Ruth Paine's house later on in the afternoon, and the assassination has happened and it's all over the TV, really from the minute that it occurs, the news channels start to switch in, and at 1:38 in the afternoon we know that Walter Cronkite announced that President Kennedy had been shot and killed in Dallas. And nobody knew at that point the circumstances. They didn't know anything about anything to do with who had done it. So to make a jump when the police arrive, to consider that it was Lee straight off, it speaks volumes. Really. So the police do arrive. This is before Lee's name has gone out onto the media. No one knew. Lee's name didn't get released until about 3:05 in the afternoon, and the police turn up around 2:30 at the Irving Payne residence house. So Linnie at that point comes over, and it is in this time frame that she is the one who offers the first information that Lee and Wesley had driven in that morning. She is the one that tells the police in the first instance that Lee had come around the carport, opened the door and put a package on the back seat. So without any kind of verification with anyone, we've got now this fictitious package and the story surrounding it, and the gun being taken out of Ruth Paine's garage, coming from Ruth Payne, Wesley Frazier and Linnie Mae, and indeed the mother of these two, the grandmother of the house, are supposedly watching on. So because it's lies, we know that either they're covering for each other or they're all involved. And I suggest that actually they are all involved. They're at least all in the know, and they are protecting each other. So I believe Linnie Mae as actually, in her own regard, being roped in by the conspirators to perform her own tasks in the role. We have to remember that the way this plot worked was to bring people in on a need-to-know basis. So they were tasked with certain jobs. They did what they did, they said what they said, and they didn't ask any questions, and they'd never joined up any dots. They just were obedient to the task. And that is what I believe Linnie did. She did as she was told. She said what she was told to say, and she went home and took the tea, I guess. So we can see now that this thing is not something that somebody dreamed up simply the night before. If we've got this level of deceptive planning and deciding to do this kind of obfuscation, then we are dealing with a well-ingrained, in-depth plan designed to deceive. It has been constructed by other people and is implemented by people on the ground. So in conclusion, what I'm saying is that Ruth Payne is involved, Wesley Frazier is involved, Linnie Mae is involved in the production of the lies that eventually go to the basis of framing Lee Harvey Oswald as a lone assassin. I don't know how clearer I can say it than that. That is the truth of the matter. So what I would like us to do now is to just take that information on board and come back and ask any questions you want to on our Oswald is not a shooter Facebook page. Drop me a private message. But better than any of that, read the fantastic book that we put together called Takedown. It's available on Amazon and it's available for free download. So enjoy.